Hello students, this is Devarshana Raut, lecturer in computer science. In our previous slides, we have already discussed about insertion operation at the end of the linear array. In our this slide, we will be discussing how we are going to insert elements at the beginning of the linear array. So let's start. Let A be an array of maximum size, as we have discussed. To check that it is of maximum size, the variable we are taking is max. So first of all, either when we are inserting any element, it may be any of the three cases, either at the end or at the beginning or at any position. For insertion of any element, we first have to check that is the array is having some space so that we can insert any element. So first thing we have to check that either the array is full or the array has some space so that we can do insertion operation. So at the very first step, we have a condition, that is upper bound is equal to max minus 1. If it satisfies the condition, that it means that the linear array is full. We cannot insert any new element in that present array. If we will be inserting, then it will overflow or it will print overflow and it will exit. If the condition is true, then it will print overflow and exit. If the condition does not satisfy or it is false, that is, if upper bound is not equal to max minus 1, then we can say that there is a space in the linear array so that we can do the insertion operation. So if it does not satisfy the condition, then it comes to the second step. In the second step, we have to read the data, that is actually the value that we want to insert at the beginning of the linear array. So after reading the data, at the third step, we will be assigning one variable k to the upper bound. Next, in the fourth step, we will be repeating step 5 and 6 if it satisfies one condition. That is, if the upper bound or the upper bound is assigned to as k variable is greater than equal to the lower bound, then we will be repeating step 5 to 6. This means that it is running one loop which is starting from the upper bound, and it will be one by one, it will come back up to the lower bound. Until and unless this variable k starting from the upper bound does not reaches or does not becomes equal to the lower bound, till then we have to read the step 5 and 6. So first of all, we need to see that when we are inserting one element at the beginning of the array, this means that we don't have any space at the front of the array or at the beginning of the array, it is full. So what we need to do? The process is we need to move the values of the array by one space. Okay, we have to move the space by 1. That is, if a value is in 0th position, we have to move it to 1 position. Okay, if the value is in 1 position, we have to move it to 2 position. If the value is in 3rd position or A3 position, we have to move it to A of 4 position. Similarly, all the items will be shifted to the next place or the next adjacent place to it. So what it says, at the very third step, we have assigned the upper bound as k variable, and the k variable will be running from upper bound to until it becomes equal to lower bound. Okay, so after that we will be actually repeating these two steps, that is step 5 and 6. So what says in step 5, that a of k plus 1 will be assigned as a of k. This only means that if the value is in a of 0, it will be shifted or it will be assigned to a of 0 plus 1, that is 1. Okay, if the value is in a of 1, it is going to be shifted to a of 2. If the value is, for example, the k value is 3, then it will be shifted to a of 3 plus 1, that is a of 4. So all in all, what this step 5 is doing, it is shifting the value to the adjacent position next to it. So after that, in step 6, it says that k will be decreased by one value. So how we are going to do it? For example, the upper bound of an array is 4. Obviously, we know the lower bound of the array is 0. So a k variable will be assigned to the a of 4. Next, the value in the a of 4 position will be assigned as a of 4 plus 2, will be assigned to a of 4 plus 1 position, that is a of 5 position. This is step 5. Next, when we are coming to step 6, the k value will be decreased by 1. Okay, so the k value was assigned as upper bound, so it was 4. Now the k value will be decreased by 1, it is now 3. Okay, so we have to check again, as it says, we have to check the condition, and if it is satisfying, then we will be repeating step 5 and 6. So we will check that the k value has been decreased from 4 to 3. We will check is 3 is greater than equal to the lower bound, that is 0. Yes, it is satisfying. Then again we will be running step 5 and 6. That is a of k, that is a of 3 value will be assigned to a of 3 plus 1, that is a of 4 value. Again k value will be decreased, that is previously it was 3, now it will be decreased to 2. Again it will check that is 2 is greater than equal to 0. Yes, 2 is greater than equal to 0. Again a of 2 value will be assigned to a of 3 position. Okay, next the k value is 2. 2 will be decremented by 1. That is, the new k value will be 1. It will check is the k value, that is 1, is greater than equal to the lower bound. Yes, 1 is greater than equal to 0. Again step 5 and 6 will be run, that is a of 1 position will be assigned to a of 2 position. Again k value will be decremented by 1. So a of k value will be 1 minus 1, that is 0. Now it will check is 0 is greater than equal to lower bound, that is 0. Yes, the condition is still satisfying as there is a equal to sign. Yes, the k value, when k value is 0, it is equal to the lower bound, that is also 0. Now a of 0 position will be, or value in the a of 0 position will be forwarded to a of 1 position, that is 0 plus 1, 1 position. Next, k value will be decremented by 1, that is the 0 position will be decremented by 1, that is minus 1. Again it is going to check that is minus 1 is greater than equal to 0. Now the condition is not satisfying. So what it will do, it will not repeat the step 5 and 6 anymore. Rather, it will come to the step 7. So in the step 7, it says that whatever data we have taken as input or we have read as data in step 2, now that data is going to be assigned to the first element or to the beginning of the array. We already know the beginning of the array is obviously the lower bound. So at the 7th position, now each and every positions are shifted by the next position. Now obviously the lower bound position, at the very last step what we have done a of 0 value is shifted to a of 1 value. So the lower bound or a of 0 value is a of 0 position is now empty. So finally what we have to do, we have to enter the data in the lower bound position, and after entering the data or after assigning the data in the lower bound position, finally the data is inserted at the beginning of the linear array. Now we have to stop and just exit. So this was the entire algorithm for insertion at the beginning of the linear array. I think you all have got what is the algorithm for insertion at the beginning of linear array. This much for this slide. Thank you.